Classic NFC North matchup to bring week 1 to a close. Vikings at the Bears. Classic spot for you dome theorists out there as well. We'll get to picks momentarily. We'll talk about some of the potential prop candidates in this one, of which there are many. We'll talk about JJ McCarthy, and I'll tell you how you can double up your winnings with your week 1 NFL bets with a 100% profit boost. I am Ninja. With me, NFL betting expert, NFL survivor pool expert, and just all-around great guy, Tony Farmer. Now, I say great guy, but Tony, you are on record as a notorious Caleb Williams hater. Do you still find yourself among this demographic? And if so, can this guy do anything right in your eyes?
Listen, I can say nice things about Caleb Williams. He only threw 1 interception last year in his last 11 games, and that interception was a Hail Mary at the end of week 17. So he limited mistakes in the passing games. But what I don't like about Caleb is a lot of the off-the-field stuff, his personality. He's not confident. He's arrogant. His body language, his leadership, all that sort of stuff. So if he matures, he's a young guy, I could come around and start to like Caleb. And I do think the season sets up well for him to do well on the field this year.
It sure does, and it's going to be a big season for him and many guys on this team. And there are several subplots in this game, Tony, but which aspect of the game is more intriguing to you? We've got JJ McCarthy as QB1 in Minnesota, or Ben Johnson in a head coaching role, specifically considering the potential of this offense?
Man, Ninja, you ask the best questions, because that is a hard, those are both 2 big storylines. I'm going to go ahead with JJ McCarthy here, because I really feel like if you take every roster in the NFL and you remove all the quarterbacks, the Vikings have a top 5 roster. The main concern with this team is the quarterback position. So if McCarthy can come out and look like Jaden Daniels did last year, or look like Bo Nix did last year in their first couple starts, the Vikings instantly become a serious Super Bowl contender in the NFC. Now, this is a tough environment. You're on Monday Night Football. Just ask Kirk Cousins about playing under the lights early in his career. You're on Monday Night Football. You're on the road in Chicago. You're going up against a Dennis Allen defense that likes to disguise a lot of their coverages. This is a tough situation for McCarthy. But again, if he can come out and put up 4 touchdowns in his first game or something like that, the Vikings should be the talk of the NFL heading into week 2.
Now, as a Odunze truther, let me ask you this. The Vikes defense, very good, especially against the run, but they can behead against the pass. Now, is this a spot to consider Odunze props on Monday night? So plus 175 anytime touchdown, 50.5 receiving yards, 4.5 catches, some good ones on the board for Odunze.
So let's look at what he did last year against the Vikings, because it's the same defensive coordinator, Brian Flores. We know what he likes to do on defense. 2 games against Minnesota, 7 catches on 17 targets. That's not very good. 78 yards and no touchdowns. So he did struggle last year against this defense. So I think the argument for Odunze overs in this game isn't necessarily that the Vikings defense is bad, because it's a lot of the same cast of characters. It's Harrison Smith again. It's Byron Murphy again. I would say the argument is the guy you brought up earlier, Ben Johnson, and the fact that this guy gets the most out of his receivers. Not 1, but 2 1,000-yard receivers with Detroit last season. So I think that makes me feel better about Odunze overs in this game, knowing that you have one of the best play callers in the NFL calling plays.
How about the other side here? Adam Thielen returning does add some vibes to the Vikings here. So thoughts on Thielen in touchdown markets here? Plus 310 anytime at FanDuel.
That sure would be a feel-good story if Thielen could get in the end zone with his old team. You got no Jordan Addison because he's suspended. So I feel like either Hawkinson or Thielen are going to have to step up in this game big time. I don't love Hawkinson to get in the end zone, because when you look at the best NFL defenses last year, stopping tight ends from scoring, 2 of the teams, Chicago and then New Orleans, who was coached by Dennis Allen, who is now Chicago's defensive coordinator. So I think it's a tough sledding for tight ends to get in the end zone for Minnesota in this game. But, you know, I like it at plus 310. The other thing to consider here is Justin Jefferson going up against Jalen Johnson on the other side. If he needs help because Jalen Johnson is out in this game, and that's possible. Jalen Johnson practiced for the first time all preseason yesterday. So that's going to be a factor in whether I'd bet this Thielen bet or not, whether Jalen Johnson is in the secondary, because his presence is going to impact Justin Jefferson, and there's going to kind of be a trickle-down effect to Thielen.
The Bears improved a lot in certain spots in the offseason, but the pass rush wasn't one of them. Do you see this as their potential Achilles heel in 2025?
It could be. That wouldn't shock me, but I think I'm a little less concerned about the Bears pass rush than other people. I think for two reasons. One, they added Grady Jarrett, and while he's not a traditional pass rusher, he does give you a little bit of a jolt, on the interior of the defensive line. I think he's going to take up space that'll help those pass rushers on the edge. And then the other reason is Dennis Allen. Like, if there's one guy besides Caleb Williams that I've talked the most trash about, it's Dennis Allen. But as a head coach, I don't like him in that role. He is a very good defensive coordinator, and I think he'll be able to scheme up a few blitzes this year, a few sacks this year for Chicago.
We'll get to your picks in a moment here. But first, for the folks at home, you can double up your winnings in week one with a 100% profit boost over at FanDuel. And conditions are simple. Claim your token by clicking the Claim Now on the promo and then place a moneyline wager on any week one NFL game and apply the token. And we all know that there's going to be a bit of chaos in week one. So could be a good opportunity to double your winnings on a week one underdog. And if you don't have FanDuel, don't worry. We will drop a link down below in the description. All right, Tony, let's get into some picks here. And as we sit here on Thursday morning, Bears 1.5-point home dogs at FanDuel, total of 43.5 on the board here. Of course, this could and most likely will all change by kickoff. But what are you betting on this one?
Yeah, so when I wrote this up, when I put pen to paper for oddshark.com, I called this the Uncertainty Bowl because we don't know how quickly Caleb Williams is going to gel with his new play caller. And as we said before, we don't know how JJ McCarthy is going to do. So I didn't really feel great about a side or total in this game. So instead, I did a teased the Bears up from 1.5 up to 7.5 through the key numbers of 3 and 7. And then the leg that I paired it with is Jets 8.5 in a nice low total game. So that got that at minus 120 over at Bet365. If you're betting teasers out there, always shop around. Bet365 has a nice price. I've seen teasers as high as minus 140, and it makes me want to puke. The other bet that I have is a prop bet. Old friend Jordan Mason from the 49ers. Last touchdown score, plus 900. I think he might be the new goal line back, take a little pressure off Aaron Jones in that offense. So I could see a situation where he gets the last touchdown, and we get 9-1 odds.